May Yahuah bless you guys. On April 20th, I had a dream that I would like to share with you guys. It had a lot of meaningful moments. You'll see what I mean. And they were, again, scenes. I was either outside or inside of something, of a place. I'm not exactly sure. But this is the thing. Wherever I was, I just know that suddenly I started seeing people being lifted. I didn't see any angels. I didn't see anything like that. I just saw people being lifted up like what you're seeing here in this image. People just started to flow up into the heavens. So I started seeing this. There was somebody next to me who I recognized. I can't recall their face anymore, but I knew them. And I said to them, I'm leaving. Soon as I said that, I'm leaving, I was lifted up and I started going up, up, up into the heavens, just like the other people that I saw. As I was going up to the heavens, and the rest of the gathering of the other people that were selective, I knew they were selective group of people. And why I say selective? Because the people that were around me, they stayed, they weren't gathered. So as I was going up, up, up into the sky, all of a sudden we stopped in the sky. So we didn't continue going further up into the heavens. We literally stopped somewhere in the heavens, and there was a big pause moment. How long that time of pause was, I do not know. When that little moment of like quietness, like everyone was just quiet, literally as we are in the sky, everything is just like still. I end up going back on earth, and when I go back to earth, I notice that everything is different. Everything on earth was different. I found myself what looked to be like a very, very dim light, where I saw people in suits, and this is the best picture or image I could find. So I saw people in suits, but they were all standing up. There was no table in front of them. It felt like if I was like in some sort of like an airplane of some kind. I don't know how to explain it, but like some sort of an airplane. People were in suits, and they were strategizing, and they were planning to go after all that basically were not for their agenda. It was very of a harsh. Everything became harsh and aggressive. What I mean, guys, it became like a severe aggression. Everything became evil. Immediately after we were gathered, right after that, the earth became completely dark, to the maximum of darkness. This man that I saw, he felt very much like the Antichrist feeling, getting in that dream. And it was very eerie, and it was just a very dim environment. Like the lighting, the scenery was just very darkish, and it was just enough light for me to see the people around there. After that happened, that I understood, and I grasped the understanding in the dream that it was more like, okay, after the gathering happens, the Antichrist will approach, and immediately he takes over. That's how it kind of felt. Immediately he takes over. Now, the next scene. I start to notice, guys, that the elements around, like nature itself, it became like, oh my goodness, like think of it like it got against you. It was against mankind. The elements were haywire. It became very, very unsafe. Very unsafe. Like, let me tell you, like the ground itself, it's like the worms were coming up out of the ground. The worms, it was these long worms. I remember there were worms everywhere. There were worms. And these worms, remember I saw a believer that was left behind. It was a husband and a wife and 2 teenagers. And I remember these long worms were somehow coming out of the ground, and they were, I don't know, they were like ugh, like going after the humans. It was weird. It's like I knew in the dream that I felt when I saw this, the elements, as soon as the gathering happens, the elements will be upside down. Even nature will be upside down. Insects, animals, all kinds, everything will be upside down. Nature, everything that goes into that will be upside down. No longer will it be normal. That's what I understood in this scene. That's what I understood. And then when I saw the believer, I understood these were believers left behind. They were not ready. And then what they had to endure. The enduring this darkness of the Antichrist ruling, enduring the climate changes and the basically the beasts of the field, everything going against mankind, everything. There was no peace, none of that. Freedom taken away, everything, just think of it like everything was upside down. I remember that this family started to run. There was basically everywhere that was around them was chaotic and dangerous. Everywhere they went, they no longer had their homes. They no longer had any place that they could consider as a place for them that they could stay. This reminded me more of the worms when it was coming up, just kind of being everywhere. It was really, really gross. People running. I saw people, running, trying to escape this system that was basically enforcing, and there was so much destruction and so much chaos. There was no safe place wherever they saw themselves. And basically, I remember there were certain places that was a safe haven. And the father I saw, like in this particular scene, I saw that this father, a wife, and the two teenager kids, as they were going through all these moments of troubles, and everywhere they found themselves was just trouble after trouble everywhere. I noticed that the father was guiding this family to a safe haven, even though they did not know where to go. That was another thing. They didn't know where they were going, but I could see in the dream how they were being led by the father towards that safe haven as they were going through all these crazy moments of adventure that is not the adventure that you want. It was really a rough and aggressive, trying to survive after the gathering that took place. There was a moment that I saw that finally when they arrived, it's like the scene went forward. It went forward and it went to a different scene where I saw finally that this family finally arrived to a place that I knew was a safe haven. I knew it in the dream, that I knew myself, that I said, wow, they arrived at a safe haven. And they were eating food that the father himself was providing them. They didn't have any food with them. They didn't bring anything because they started to run with the clothes on their backs. They didn't have any food, nothing, guys. They were literally running for their life, because what I mean that everything went haywire after the gathering. Everything went upside down. Nothing was no longer normal. This is what I was seeing. I was seeing that suddenly the believers, they were being attacked. It got bad. It got really bad. I didn't get to see too much chaos in the dream because it was basically showing me glimpse and making me understand this is what happened right after the gathering. After the gathering, everything went upside down. Everything became worse for the ones that were not ready. It was severe. I understood also, as soon as the gathering happened, the Antichrist came into power. That's how I saw it in the dream. The Antichrist came into power. All believers and everyone that basically did not follow, basically they were persecuted. Bad things started to happen. People were being hunted down. I saw people running for their lives, trying to escape not just the system, but trying to escape the elements. Everything was chaotic. There was no safe place wherever they were, but there was a safe haven where they were being led by the Father himself, leading them to a safe haven place. Finally, these people, this is the closest image that I could see, what I saw in my dreams, but without all the water. But I remember that there were green grass, and I remember that the place was so peaceful. I remember that somehow I knew within me, without even me seeing the food, I knew that they were being fed. I just knew that they were being fed. And I knew that they were in a safe place. And I also knew that I perceived within me as I was watching this, I knew that the enemy could not go or enter or attack, nothing. It was literally protected by the Father. And no darkness or of any kind could basically be in that area. It was protected. That's how I sensed it. It was a protected place, a safe haven. And so that's what I saw in the dream. When I saw this and I felt at peace finally for these people, I felt like, whew, they made it. They made it to a safe haven, because it's like if I was watching a movie, I was watching their story and I was watching everything that was happening to them. And finally, when they arrived, it was like, oh, they can finally relax a little, because the whole time they couldn't even take a snooze. I mean, you couldn't. It was like a moment of like, you got to stay awake and alert, because there were just many people after the people that were not for the system. But I wanted to share this with you guys because it is important. This is a dream that I had on the 20th recently, and it really emphasizes on the rapture, or the gathering of the bride, that after they leave, there will be serious tribulation like never before since the beginning of time, to the point that even the elements and even the beasts of the fields and the insects and all that, it's everything going to go upside down. Everything's going to go upside down. People will be running for their life, literally trying to find a safe place. Many won't be able to find a safe place. Many will try and many won't, but there will be some that the Father will guide to a safe haven. There will be safe haven places wherever it is. Only the Father truly knows where these safe havens are. Only He knows, and only He will guide His people to these places. But I remember that this was happening. This was happening. And it was not easy, guys. It was not easy as I was watching this family. The process, the hunger, the tribulation they were going through. All the effects of the elements, everything, their surroundings. When I mean the elements, it was just a lot of gross stuff that was happening with insects and worms and everything. It got bad. It got really bad. But I wanted to share this with you guys because every dream that the Father allows me, I know that it's for a purpose to share, because this will reach that particular person that needs it. Another dream that I would like to share that I had last night. I want to share with you guys something, and this was so quick. It was like literally I closed my eyes and it's like I dreamed, like if it was like a vision in a dream. And this will shock you, or it might not. It might confirm. But listen to this. This is a dream that I had last night, and this is what it was. I appeared floating, guys, in the air, and I was staring at a mountain rock, what you see here. I was just staring at it. When I stared at it and I looked at it and I said to myself, that's a mountain. And I looked at the feature and suddenly I saw what looked like a face. You know how sometimes you stare at something and all of a sudden something captures you and you're like, that kind of looks like, am I seeing a face? Well, in the dream it was like that. I'm looking at a mountain, and on the mountain I see a figure like a face, sleeping similar to what you're seeing here. I hear a voice says, the sleeping giants will be awakened. Are you hearing this, guys? The voice says, the sleeping giants will be awakened. As soon as I hear that, I saw the mountain, this figure of this face suddenly waking up and moving, like if it was in a sleeping, in a some sort of dormant of sleep. It started to wake up. And then that was the end of that dream. I immediately knew that it was talking about giants. Giants that will be wakened up. Sleeping giants. Again, take it to the Father. But I feel like this, a confirmation that the giants will be coming back. Some type of giants, who knows what kind. I just know I saw a mountain, I saw a face, and I heard the sleeping giants will be awakened. And suddenly, the face on this mountain started to move its face and started to move its eyes and started to wake up. Yeah, guys, deep giants. A lot of things are going to be seen, things that it was never even thought, or never thought of it to be like really that's going to be happening, type of thing. But when it comes to after the gathering and everything, many things will be unfolding. Many things will be unfolding like never before seen. And keep in mind, guys, that Satan in his groups, they will be cast down from heaven, and cast down from heaven down to the earth, and all, like, everything is just going to be chaotic, pure darkness, so if you're not ready with the Father, if you're not taking it seriously, like, while you still have an opportunity, repent, turn away from all your wickedness, get yourself baptized, get into the covenant with Messiah through baptism, be filled with the Holy Spirit, walk and follow him, keeping his commandments because you love him. We have to make sure that we are ready. More and more rapture dreams are popping up. More and more. It's like we're coming to a close, we're coming to a close and to the ending of it. Let's be ready, for our Messiah is coming. His return is soon, and he's coming for his ready bride. He is coming for his ready bride. As their people were being lifted up into the sky, some people that were watching, they were in the ground as they watched the other people go up. Let's be ready. It will be a bittersweet moment on that day. A bittersweet moment. Truly a bittersweet moment when the first gathering occurs. A bittersweet moment. Bittersweet. May Yahuah bless you. Shalom.